It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in Atlantic City, New Jersey. All right, buddy. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio. Joined as I am, heaven, help me by Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. How are you, Amelia?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. We are without our third man in the booth tonight. He is actually our friend Rico Style, is at a recording session tonight. He's making a record. I guess cutting some wax, as they used to say back
Right?
in the day. Cutting some wax. He's making a record. He's a singer. He's a songwriter too,
Mhm.
And yeah, so he's like doing his thing. So I said, go make a good record, and we'll see you whenever.
Yeah, next week, probably.
You did what? What happened?
Next week, if he's not going to be able to join us tomorrow, probably because you know how sometimes it takes a little bit to make that record or two.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't think he'll be here tomorrow night either. Well, we won't see Rico till probably next week.
Yep.
Anyway, so how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I have to tell you, I'm always proud of this show. I really
Mhm.
am. But I got to tell you something. I got a phone call today from our guest, Dan Ely, from last night.
Oh, it was a
And I
fantastic
want
show.
to tell you what, we knocked at that ball, not only went out of the park,
Mhm.
it went into the next block. We hit that home run. That thing was a super grand slam.
Mm.
All the bases came home on that one. Yes, sir, it did. We had a hell of a show. 50 years later, the return to
Wow.
Junior's Farm, man. What
Wow.
a great show. If you're a
50
Beatles
years.
fan, Paul McCartney fan, you definitely know about Junior's Farm. So, what did you think of last night's show?
I think it was amazing. It just asked him a few questions and he was just answered everything.
That's Dan. He's off to the races, man.
Mhm. Yes.
That's what I mean when I keep telling you, Pitbull,
Hmm.
less is more.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Even I kept my mouth shut last night. Don't you dare say a fucking word.
You knew
I
that I was
know
gonna
you
say
because you got
something.
that look. You already got that
You
look
knew I was
on your
gonna
face.
say something, right?
Then put the glasses back on. You. She's got that look. I know when she takes them glasses off, I know what she's
She's
doing.
got that look, right? No, but it was
Mhm.
so fantastic, and then seeing that
She's being a
guitar
ball
again.
breaker. No, it was a great show. It was a
Yes,
really, really good show.
and he's
And
so
we've got
happy.
a
Oh,
lot of response to it.
mhm,
We've got amazing response to it. It's one of them things. It's like
mhm, yeah,
certain subjects
mhm.
that we do, and they all get some kind of reaction,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
95% of it is positive.
Mhm.
But sometimes we get that reaction that goes above and beyond positive.
Yes.
That's like, you have to bask in it for a little while.
Right?
So I'm still
Especially
basking in last night. It was a good one. Yeah.
oh, yeah. Yeah, we
Very.
don't wanna do those bad shows where we have to, like, say, "Okay, next." We won't do that one
Yeah, I
again.
know, right? Like tonight's probably going to be one of them.
No, but people need to be made aware of what's going on actually for tonight's
Well,
show.
tell everybody what we're doing.
Well, it's the deep fake dilemma about people, you'll never know who you're talking to on the other end of the line unless you see their face, but is it really them that you're
Wait a minute,
speaking with?
even face to face anymore.
But like I said, yeah, even are you really speaking to them face to face? Are you sure it's them? Because they can be disguised. You don't know. There's so much technology
So
nowadays that
strange. I'm telling
Mhm,
you. We have a show coming up. What is it? I think it might be next week. We have a show coming up on um lookalikes and doppelgangers, right?
no, that's actually tonight.
No, not lookalikes. The deep fake tonight.
Yeah, the deep fakes and the missing famous is next week. So the we won't have anything today like that. So the double gangers lookalikes deep fakes is tonight. That's what we're doing tonight.
Is that tonight? Okay, so we're doing
Hmm.
deep fakes and doppelgangers. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah,
Well, I
because
mean, we have plenty of reference material. I mean, just the other day, we
mhm,
showed on the program here, that now famous video of Joe Biden. We think
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
Biden. We don't. I think it's bullshit.
Mhm.
Pulling, fixing his mask.
Yeah, he was doing that, and you could see that
Yeah,
little wrinkle back there. Who has that wrinkle back there? But
yeah.
only
Well,
if you have a
first of
mask on.
all, because look, human skin doesn't do that.
No.
Okay, I don't care how old you are, your skin's not going to do that because that skin stayed in place. Okay,
Absolutely.
and skin don't do that; it moves.
Yeah.
All right, so but we're going to do a whole show on what happened to Joe Biden because this guy, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but
I
that
don't
ain't
think
Joe.
it's not him because lately there's been so many other videos that's been shown about him that he is a robotic person or maybe even a robot.
You think he's robotic? You think he's a
I,
well, I've
I
seen those robot videos. They look pretty good. I actually showed one on the program.
I sent you a couple of them, I believe,
Hmm.
yesterday, and the ones that I saw, he was just like
Yeah.
the one from when he was a vice president. He was just like joking around, going like that, and then now he's just like he's doing like that, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's what
Well,
you
it's
know.
funny. Barack Obama was with him the other day
Hmm.
at a press conference, and Obama had to touch his hand.
A certain spot in his
He
hand, I
touched his
noticed.
hand to get him to turn around.
But the way he touched it got my
Yeah.
attention
Oh, you're sure.
because you don't
Tell
just
everybody what we're
normally
talking about because they think we're nuts.
no
They
because this
think we're nuts anyway. But go ahead.
no, this video shows Obama getting his attention, but Obama had to touch his wrist or somewhere around the hand a certain way, and he looked like he pressed it
Yeah.
down. And you could see
Yep.
literally his pressing down with fingers pressing down on the wrist somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And it looked like it turned him back on.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Because he was losing it.
I said, did they not charge him enough?
Yeah, right. Charge him up.
I think
We're going
so.
to do that show. Leon's there. Hey, Leon.
Hey.
Joe Biden is dead. The president is an imposter. We absolutely
Yep,
agree with you. Leon
absolutely.
Barfield is one of our guys here. We love Leon because he's a conspiracy kook like we
Oh,
are.
yes. Hmm.
But see, we're not kooks anymore. Now the conspiracies are real.
Oh, yes, they're coming
Remember,
out.
they used to call us conspiracy theorists. Well,
Hmm.
it's no longer theory, folks. It's actuality. So, this is why he didn't run in 2016. He was dying. Doppelganger was not ready. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Excuse me,
Hmm.
folks. We
Hmm.
are going to talk about that. You're going to hear and see. So, I think some convincing video tonight.
Yes.
We have a show tonight that we planned this. I mean, this is actually part 2.
Yes.
The deep fake dilemma is a part of a broader show that we're doing on lookalikes and doppelgangers. Now, we all know we've shown ad nauseum the lookalike shows that we've done.
Yes.
But now we're going to spend a lot more time, I think, tonight talking about the dangers, the real physical, tangible dangers of an imposter. In fact,
Yes.
there's a term now. There's a term now called imposter syndrome,
Yes.
and it's a real thing. I had to because I'm old school
Mhm.
and I'm an old fart anyway, right? So
No.
I had to look. I shook my head. Now, what the fuck is it talking about? Imposter syndrome, right? And sure enough, it's a damn thing. And it's called
It
imposter syndrome.
yes. They will pretend to
And
be
I,
somebody else they're not. Yes.
yeah, it's weird.
Hmm.
Let me
Oh.
show you what I did today. You ready for
Hmm.
this?
Yes.
Let me show you how easy it is. People think I'm crazy. Watch this, Neil. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're watching America's podcast. What's the buzz with Mad Dog and the Pitbull? Now
Wow.
we know that's not Leonardo DiCaprio, but that's my voice coming out of his mouth.
Right?
Okay, watch it again. Hi, this is Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're watching America's podcast. What's the buzz with Mad Dog and the Pitbull? Right,
Right.
moving his head around and everything.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of like I don't know. It's a small clip, and I get that. But and I did that to show you just how easy it is to do. It's very easy to do.
Oh, yes, it is.
And you
Absolutely.
don't need, and here's the scary part. You don't need any special training and you don't need any special equipment to do it.
No.
On, like you could do it on your computer,
Hmm.
but the people in Washington, D.C., they're doing it on a very, very large scale,
Yes.
like on a presidential level. Like that shit's scary because they're doing it in person
Yes,
with
they
a
are.
guy that they're trying to pass off as the president, who I don't believe from. First of all,
Mm-mm.
the real Joe Biden, his granddaughter said that her grandfather died 5 years ago. Okay.
Mm-hmm. She let that
And
slip.
and we know that to be
Mhm.
true because we talked about it and we exposed it on the show.
Yes.
Okay. How the FBI is not knocking on my door going, how do you know that?
Mhm.
Here's the thing. Look, I know they're listening. You know they're listening. You know what? If they want us to shut down, we'll shut down. But no,
Yeah.
we won't either. Fuck that
No,
shit. We ain't shutting down.
we're not gonna shut down. They're not gonna make
No.
us shut down.
But and Leon, you bring up a very, very good point. Max Headroom from 1984.
Mhm.
Conan did similar. You're absolutely right. Back in the day, there was this robotic television character
Mhm.
named Max Headroom. He was actually created by an actor named Matt Frewer. Max Headroom was actually Matt Frewer that they modeled him after. And it was his voice and his personality and his character. And just to give you some point of reference, Matt Frewer played the other dad in the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mhm.
If you've ever seen that Disney
Oh,
film,
yes.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And so that's who we're talking about, Matt Frewer. Manny, when was the first time you became aware of that the whole deep fake thing, that maybe things aren't as they appear to be? When was the first time you
Well, I mean, it's like
it
when you're
became
listening.
like a thing for you?
Well, whenever you're listening to music, the big Milli Vanilli thing came out and everything. Remember
Oh,
that?
you talking about that lip sync? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a shocker, wasn't it?
that was a shocker too. And then you're looking at somebody and they're like, "Oh, that's not really me. It's like this," and they lift up their mask. You've seen them in Hollywood movies all the time. It
Yeah.
started with the horror movies
I'll
with
tell you
Freddy
something
Krueger.
scary, and it happened to me. I
Hmm.
saw my double.
Oh, really?
Okay, I did. I saw my double, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and we just stared at each other for like a full minute. And I almost approached him, and something said, "Don't walk away." And I did. I walked away. And that was a long time ago. A long time ago. Because they said there's an old superstition. It's like an old German superstition. By the way, the word doppelganger
Hmm.
is a German word. What do you think it means?
Look alike, I guess.
No,
Uh,
it means shadow.
oh, wow.
It means your shadow. Yeah. Or ghost. You're
Oh,
you're
wow.
you're a ghost.
I've not run into mine, but Jeff ran into his here in Florida. No less. Would you believe it's in Florida? He had blonde hair, and Jeff used to have blonde hair, and we were at a Taco Bell eating.
Your Jeff has blonde hair.
He used to have blonde
I was
hair,
gonna
but
say
the
you don't have
guy,
blonde hair now. That's jet black.
but
That hair.
but the guy that
Oh, we're gray in it now too.
right, but the guy that was his, I mean, identical twin. You could put him face to face.
I went through. I did that.
Yeah.
I saw a guy
Hmm.
that looked just like me,
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
is a scary fucking thought, folks.
Well,
But
didn't they
it's
say that
true.
there's two of us here in this world that we look just like?
They say, and I believe it. I believed it then. I believe it now. I believe it more now.
Mhm.
They say that every person has a double.
Hmm.
Now, I'm going to tell you a story that happened in New York, not far from here. It was about these three guys that kept running into each other
Hmm.
in New York. Three guys. They actually did a documentary movie about these three guys when they found out what happened. These guys kept running into each other. They all kind of lived in the same neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
Think about this. They all lived in the same neighborhood. Three guys that looked identical to each other. Come to find out, all three of these guys were brothers. They were
What?
triplets,
What?
separated at birth, and they never left the neighborhood.
Oh my gosh.
Each family that adopted each one was from the same neighborhood.
Oh my goodness.
And they kept running into each other, and they finally sat down with each other and said, we have to have DNA tests done because
Mhm.
there's too much coincidence here
Yes.
that we're not just like people that look like each other.
No.
Something's going on here that we need to find out. And it affected one of the guys so tragically, he ended up killing himself,
Oh no.
which is, yeah, that happened. True story. And, but the triplets who are now, the three became two because one is gone, God rest his
Mhm.
soul. And, but it's just remarkable how the stuff that life hands you,
Oh yes.
you know, I always knew that there was some poor bastard out there that looked like me. And God help us all. There's somebody that looks like the pit bull. Heaven help us.
Yeah, somewhere, poor thing, huh?
I don't know where she is. I hope she stays.
Maybe she's on TikTok.
I hope yeah, on TikTok, the queen of TikTok, right? Yeah,
Right?
she's on TikTok using filters. I know who she is.
Yeah, right. No, no.
Yeah.
But also too, the bad thing is that people pretend to be other people is that take advantage of people is these Nigerian people making women think that they're soldiers or American soldiers as well.
Well,
Have you
I
seen
don't
that?
know what you're talking about there. So can you enlighten me a little bit?
Well, there's these Nigerian people, men, that are in this whole like a living room and they have laptops and they're all surrounded on the floor or wherever they can sit and they have two or three accounts at a time pretending to be a United States soldier and
And this is where?
in Nigeria.
In Nigeria. And how do
Yeah,
you know about this?
because they've been doing research and investigations. They've shut down a few, but they still keep on, keep them going, keep them going. Somehow they continue to have them everywhere in Nigeria.
Nigeria is that's a crooked country.
It is
They
very
have no political system
no,
there.
no. They'll
I don't
they'll
trust people from overseas anyway. I
no.
don't trust people here.
Well,
The truth is, folks, I don't trust much of anybody, to be honest with
well, there was this woman that decided that okay, she believed that he didn't have any money, he couldn't get any food,
you.
he
Yeah.
didn't have a cell phone. Which do you know the
So what they
military
trying to
provides you with all
they
that?
pretended to be somebody else?
They pretended to be somebody else, and they sent her pictures. They said, "I love you. Please send me a cell phone." She did. She was paying a
Oh
cell
wait,
phone bill.
no. You go no. I
And
got to
that's what.
stop you there, Paul.
Mhm,
I got to stop you there because
mhm,
you're getting down a rabbit hole that
mhm.
we are not prepared. That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens, folks. Sometimes when she goes off her meds, you have to reel her in because I mean, God love her, Amelia, and you know you've been with me
No,
for.
what they've done is they put their face on the soldier's face, like a deep fake. That's what they've done. They get the color of the skin of the soldier and they put
I
their
like to
face
put
on
your
there.
face on a postage stamp so I could stick it in a mailbox somewhere.
No, but that's what they've done. It's an AI filter that they do. They put their face on a soldier's face and they make it look like it's them.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, and
Yeah,
somebody's playing around. That's what that is. Somebody's playing.
it's horrible. It's horrible.
Um,
And But you got to be careful out there, though. You just gotta.
Well, let's talk about it. I want you to see a video I put together. Let's and then we'll give it some. I think it'll help.
And then it'll be actually time for a commercial.
It is time for a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nigerian prince that wants. Oh yeah, you know what, Leon? We're going to talk about that too. We have. She does this to me, folks. She sets me up. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Let's go for commercial.
A serious kind of topic tonight. I want everybody that's out there who needs help. I have help for you. If you and we're going to put our numbers up on the screen here in a minute. If you need help, we are here to help you. I got a bunch of numbers and people out there that will help if you're an alcoholic, if you are addicted to substances, cocaine, if you're addicted to pills. It doesn't matter. You know, even though marijuana is legal, some people are actually addicted to marijuana.
Yes, they are.
Take a look at these phone numbers. Please write them down. We'll be right back. That is all of the numbers you will need. And if you need more, you can reach us here at the show.
Yes.
If there's something that's critically urgent, contact us ASAP at whatsthebuzzpopcast@gmail.com. Neil.
Yes.
Let's talk about this here. Got a video I want you to take a look at, and well, let's watch the whole thing, listen to what they have to say, and then you'll know discuss this.
All righty.
During an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time.
Jordan Peele created this fake video of President Obama to demonstrate how easy it is to put words in someone else's mouth.
Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet.
Not everyone bought it, but the technology behind such frauds is rapidly improving, even as worries increase about their potential for harm. This is your Bloomberg Quick Take on Deepfakes. Deepfakes, or realistic-looking fake videos and audio, gained popularity as a means of adding famous actresses into porn scenes, despite bans on major...
Now, did you hear that?
Yes.
This is how all this started, from the porn industry, because they found a way to put famous people's faces on porn actresses.
Right.
Like, I'll just tell you one I actually saw was they took Britney Spears' face.
Whoa.
They took Britney Spears' face and put it on a young woman that was having sex with a guy.
Oh my goodness.
On a porn film. Now, I'm not proud of the fact that I watched it, but it was interesting. That's all I'm going to say. So
you had to do your research.
Shut up.
Their websites, they remain easy to make and find. They're named for the deep learning artificial intelligence algorithms that make them possible. Input real audio or video of a specific person, the more the better, and the software tries to recognize patterns in speech and movement. Introduce a new element like someone else's face or voice, and a deepfake is born.
It's actually extremely easy to make one of these things. There were just some breakthroughs from academic researchers who work with this particular kind of machine learning in the past few weeks, which would drastically reduce the amount of video you need actually to create one of these.
Programs like FakeApp, the most popular and widely available for making deep fakes, need dozens of hours of human assistance to create a video that looks like this, rather than this. In August, researchers at Carnegie Mellon revealed software that accurately rendered not just facial features, but changing weather patterns and flowers in bloom. This advance is not yet available to the public. But with increasing capability comes increasing concern.
This is kind of fake news on steroids, potentially. We do not know of a case yet where someone has tried to use this to perpetrate a kind of fraud or an information warfare campaign, or for that matter, to really damage someone's reputation. But it's the danger that everyone is really afraid of.
In a world where fakes are easy to create, authenticity also becomes easier to deny. People caught doing genuinely objectionable things could claim evidence against them is bogus. Fake videos can also be difficult to detect, though researchers around the world and at the US Department of Defense have said they're working on ways to counter them. Deepfakes do, however, have some positive uses. Take ʻdēp-ʻfāk, a firm that creates digital voices for people who lose theirs from disease.
Speech synthesis is the artificial production of human speech.
There are also applications that could be.
Okay, I want to go back. I want to go back here for just a second. What do you notice about that rather ugly woman?
She's, let's see. Well, she's being
First
interrogated.
of all, she's not a he. She's not a she.
It's not?
She's a he.
Really?
Do you know who that woman is? Nicolas Cage.
Really?
Look at him. That's Nicolas Cage. Watch this. You're going to shit when I show you.
There are also applications that could be considered either good or bad, like the many, many deepfakes that exist solely to turn as many movies as possible into Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking. Okay, they mentioned something very, very important in that segment, which was not only is deepfake increasingly more hard to spot, but it's becoming increasingly more dangerous. One of the things that, and you and I have talked about this on the previous program, and of course we're going to talk about it right now tonight, is the growing threats that it poses to authenticity. If, for example, if a deep fake video of Vladimir Putin made it to the television and he says, well, I'm going to blow up America, every military man in this country would be on alert.
Absolutely.
You would have World War III before you fucking knew it, based on a deep fake. And I got news for you. I don't think we're that far away from that happening. Okay? I don't think we're that far away. You and I actually showed a video, folks, on this show. Pitbull and I, about 7-8 months ago, showed a video of Pope Francis disappearing from his papal window.
Yes.
Okay? Not only was that not the Pope, it was a hologram projection. They projected the Pope into that window. The Pope was in the Vatican doing whatever the hell popes do. Okay? But he had, at that point, they had to make sure that, because thousands of people wait for him.
Absolutely, they do.
Had to make sure that the Pope went out to the window and waved to everybody like this, okay, with the hand. The hand that never moves like this.
Right? That just,
yeah. Right?
Yeah. It could have had a threat that day, or could have been threatened or something like that. So they were just probably going to do a hologram.
It's
or something.
entirely possible. It's entirely possible. Well, we know. Look what happened to the other Pope. Somebody shot at that poor guy.
Yeah.
He survived it. We think he survived it. We don't know, because there was a Pope lookalike back then too.
Yes.
That's another. We're going to actually do a show on the Pope. Where our show on Pope Francis is called "Sinner or Saint, You Decide." But I'm going to put the evidence out there. I'm going to put the information out there, and then let the chips fall.
Yeah.
That's another show. But What did you think of that? You see how the guy said how easy it was
Oh,
to
absolutely, very
create this,
easy.
this deep fake. So what do you
Yeah,
think?
and it's dangerous too because it's like for you and I, like let's say that somebody calls and you're like, hello, or things like that, or
Right?
anything like that. And if you say hello or anything like that, they could get that hello and use it for something else for your credit cards or anything for your identity.
Yeah.
Or if you say
Um.
yes or anything like that before they say somebody on the other line talks, that's right there. They can get you right there.
Well, I'm not going to say no to that. I'm going to say that's a bit harder to do. Because when we're talking about deep fake technology, we're talking about something that's visual like
Hmm.
this. It's far more difficult to do over a telephone line. Over a computer, it's super easy. Over a cell phone, super easy. But not so much over a phone line.
Yeah, a lot of the time
Um,
they probably use it just to promote something, or like they showed the president maybe do a speech real quick, but he's not really doing that right there. He could be the hologram talking, but he's in another place, like you said, just to get a point
yeah,
across.
well, we know that happens, which
Or it could be
it's already
fake.
been proven.
Hmm.
It's in fact, they're using that technology to make movies.
Yeah.
Look at the last couple Star Wars movies.
Yes.
Look at every sci-fi movie. They're using the film industry basically created this
Yes, they did.
the deep fake. Okay, people
Yes.
don't understand how light years ahead the film business
Oh, yes.
is.
Yeah, even with the masks
Okay.
and stuff for the scary movies and stuff, like you put it on real quick, you put it on real good, you look like that scary
Well,
monster
we're
really
going to
coming at you.
do we're going to do that show, The Unmasking of America. We'll do that.
Mhm.
Um, what Leon say? I've ordered food over the phone. Leon, don't be a moron, Leon. Now you sound like Amelia for crying out. I
Be
thought you had a
nice.
little bit more sense to you, Leon.
Be nice, Leon.
Um, no, but here's the thing though about deep fake technology. It's scary because it's good.
Mhm.
It's effective, which makes it scary.
Yes.
It is a vicious circle that just keeps on gaining speed and momentum. The
Right.
problem with it is there's no way to stop it. You
Exactly. It's not.
once something like this takes on legs,
Mhm.
it starts to walk, then it starts to pace, and then it starts to run.
Yes. It could be an
Well, deep
advantage
fake
or
technology
yeah.
right now is
Mhm.
running rampant, big
Yes.
time.
Yes, it could be
Yeah,
an advantage or a disadvantage. It depends on how you use it too.
well, explain.
Well, like an advantage could be like let's say the government is trying to get a hostage or a government's trying to avoid a war or something just like that. They could use it to their advantage to fake out the other person, saying I need this or I need that or I'm this person if we
Yeah,
give you
how
that.
no? How does deep fake technology
Mhm.
play into that? That I'm not
It
seeing
could
the
they
connection
could
you're
say
making,
they
or
could
you're
say that
trying to make.
they're the president or they're the head
Well, you
of.
can't say you're the president. You got to show you're the
That's what I'm
president.
saying. They'll be talking for the president himself, but of course it won't be him speaking or the vice president. And they could
Well,
say,
I
okay,
mean, but
we'll
you
give you
again,
this and
that's
that.
a slippery slope. That's a
Yeah,
really slippery slope
exactly. They're taking a really big risk doing that. But the disadvantage
of
is,
risk.
uh-huh,
You're risking total annihilation doing something like
exactly.
that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
scared that
think
it's going to go
as
to that.
stupid as I think people are, and I think people are pretty fucking stupid. But as stupid as I think people are, I don't think that we as a species are that stupid that we are dead set intent on destroying ourselves. The only people to blow things up. They like it.
Yeah.
They're big guys playing with bombs. That's all they are. And I have no respect for them or what they do. Period. End of story. Let's move on. Deep fakes. Let's take a look at this.
are using deepfake technology in some very funny ways. At number 1, the Fakening, who put Elon Musk's face on Charlie Sheen.
That's how I roll.
Now, think about that. That's Elon Musk's face.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very hard to tell if it's really Charlie Sheen in there, because that looks like Charlie.
Right.
Now that's Mr. T, but it's not really Mr. T. Who's that? Who do you think that is? Who does that look like?
Oh my gosh, what is his name? I can't think of the actor's name, but it's not Mr. T. It's we just watched a movie with
someone, ladies and gentlemen, who doesn't watch television.
not that much. But
let's watch. No, forget it, Amelia. Watch the video.
Face on Charlie Sheen.
That's how I roll. I have one speed. I have one gear. Go.
Put Kevin Hart on Mr. T.
I just want to.
You understand that? It's Kevin Hart.
Check some sense into you kids.
And swap Tom Hanks for Keanu Reeves in Forrest Gump.
Mama said they'd take me anywhere. She said they was my magic shoes.
All right, Forrest.
Now, if you saw Forrest Gump, it's hard to tell if that's Tom Hanks or if that's Keanu Reeves.
Well, right there with that look, I could tell that's Keanu Reeves.
Well, it is.
Open your eyes now.
Face swaps are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. At number 2, next face. He features Keanu too by making him multiple characters on NBC's The Good Place.
Everything okay?
Nope. Gets strange with Stranger Things characters swapping Eleven's face for Hopper.
Max wanted to have a sleepover. Is that okay?
Now that's just silly looking, okay?
Yeah.
And turn Ryan Reynolds into Willy Wonka in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
This is the Great Glass Wonkavator.
It's an elevator.
It's a Wonkavator. An elevator.
Here's the thing, too. It's not just that they're swapping out faces. They're swapping out voices and manners and making Willy Wonka look like and sound like Ryan Reynolds.
The Wonkavator can only go up and down, but the Wonkavator can go sideways and slantways and long ways.
That is almost as freaky as the Tim Burton remake. And third on our list of celebrity face swap channels, Dr. Fakenstein, who's inserted Snoop Dogg and Mike Tyson into
This is hilarious. Watch this, Mill.
an episode of Oprah.
So I want you to read this one first. Okay.
I read what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay.
Mess with Mike again in the Family Matters intro.
It's all I see is a tower of dreams. Real love bursting out of every scene.
They put Mike Tyson's face on everybody. Watch.
And most famously, turn Nick Offerman, a.k.a. Ron Swanson, into everyone on the Full House intro.
Everywhere you look, you're lost out there and you're all alone.
And now, this baby's gonna haunt your dreams tonight. You're welcome. Swapping celebrities on the buzz list.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
That's some funny shit. It can be used for humorous purpose. And I understand. I get it. It's, it's entertainment, but in the wrong hands,
oh boy,
it can be a dangerous tool. And that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing a lot of when the FBI and the National Security Office and Homeland Security are sending out memos about deep fakes, then you need to pay attention, because every one of those organizations I just mentioned has sent out memos on deep fakes. That it's becoming harder for them to tell because the technology is so good. They've got technology the government doesn't have.
Right.
Is the point I'm trying to make to everybody. This is serious stuff, folks.
Very serious stuff. And people need to understand that, anybody could be anybody these days.
Yeah, and I want people to understand like what we're really talking about here. This is some, first of all, frightening to think about. This scary stuff, in the wrong hands. This technology can kill, it can destroy, it can alter civilization. I'm going to read something to you here. That's a little definition of what a deep fake is. All right? So here's how they define it. An image or recording that's been convincingly altered to manipulate and misrepresent someone as doing or saying something that was not actually done or said. We showed it tonight. Barack Obama talking, and it wasn't Barack Obama. Now, here's what they were initially designed for. Deep fakes were originally defined as synthetic media that have been digitally manipulated to replace one person's likeness convincingly for that of another. And we've seen that.
Yes.
And it can be funny, as we just saw, or it could be scary, like putting Mike Tyson's face on everybody. That's frightening. The term was coined in 2017 by a Reddit user. I don't know who that user was, but whoever they are, the world is now using your term deepfake. And has later been explained to cover any video, picture, or audio made with artificial intelligence to appear real. For example, realistic looking images of people who do not exist. I'll give you a perfect example of one. And they use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein died years ago, ages ago. Okay, back in the 1960s.
Right.
Albert Einstein passed away. They have Einstein today in deepfake in living color.
Yes.
Talking like Einstein used to talk, saying the things he used to say, looking like he used to look, all from existing pictures of Einstein. And all you do is you take these photos and you put them into this conglomerate, this mixture, and the machine does the rest.
Yeah.
And it's an app. You can put it on your phone. You can download it to your computer. It's not, in fact, here's the scary part. A lot of them are free.
Oh, yeah, they're free for people to use to take advantage of people.
Sure. Absolutely. Here's another thing, though. We're talking about that. One of the things they talk about here in this little article that I'm reading from talks about something that you and I talked about at the beginning of the show, just when we started. The spread of information or the spread of misinformation. I'm going to read this. You and I'll talk about it.
Okay.
The spreading of disinformation and hate speech through deepfakes has the potential to undermine the key core functions and norms of democratic systems by interfering with people's ability to participate in the decision-making process that affects them, to determine collective agendas and express political will through informed decision-making. Both the information technology industry and government have responded with recommendations to detect and limit the use of deepfakes. Let's talk. You heard me mention about 2 minutes ago, the government, when the FBI, when the CIA, when the National Security Office send out memos, they're concerned. You just heard me. I just validated that.
The government, yes.
The government is when the government is telling you, hey, we got a problem here. Because the government never says we have a problem.
No.
They never do. They don't know how to. But this scares them because it's a technology they can't keep up with. Because every time they catch up, somebody makes it better.
Yes.
You know?
And they're going to continue making it better. They're going to continue making it better, too, because there's always going to be somebody smarter to add to whatever that technology is.
Hey, there you go. That's it right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it right there. It's always going to be somebody out there, guys. Maybe even one of you guys out there. that know a little bit more, that have a little bit more knowledge, have a little bit more creativity, know how to tweak it up just a little bit more.
Right.
Okay? Some of the best hackers working for the government are criminals that the government converted to their side.
Yes.
Think I'm kidding?
Oh yeah. And right now,
If you don't believe that, check out a movie with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio called Catch Me If You Can.
you can. That's a good movie, yeah. And also too, it's like right now, who knows who there might be, like he said, another smarter person. He might be just 6 or she might just be 6 years old right now that they're going to be focusing on right now to bring them in to get that technology. We don't know how old these people are.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. You have to understand. There's a couple things you need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, technology never stops for anyone.
Nope.
Okay. There's lots of reasons that it keeps going on. Okay. We live in a technically driven society. And this is nothing new. I want to give people a little world history lesson. We went through the Gilded Age. We went through the Iron Age. We went through the Stone Age. You get where I'm going.
Right.
We went through the Industrial Revolution. We went through the Cultural Revolution. Okay. Now we're going through the Technological Revolution. You get where we're going here. I just mentioned, just off the top of my head, by the way, nothing in front of me. Off the top of my head, I just mentioned 8 or 9 things that the world has already been through. And it doesn't stop, because after the technological revolution, guess what? There'll be something else.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's what's going to happen, and I'm making this prediction now. And if I'm not alive to see it happen, Pitbull will say, Mad Dog said that. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
It's a break time.
There's going to come a time. You watch. Because we're going to watch it happen. There's going to come a time that people are going to go back to pencil and paper.
Yes.
There's going to come a time when people are going to go back to visiting each other in their houses. You know why? Because there will be none of this FaceTime to talk to. Oh, hi. How you doing, Susie? Yeah. Oh, hi, Grandma. Hi. Yeah. My mother and I had this conversation last week. She says nobody visits anymore. I say, you know why? This is why.
Yeah.
This is why people don't visit anymore.
We used to not have that. I mean, back when we were kids growing up, we had the outside and the dark. Yeah. When it got dark, the lights went on. That's when we knew to come inside. And we didn't bother anybody. The hose outside.
The last time, Amelia, that you saw a kid outside playing?
Actually, I actually saw them a couple of days ago here across the street because the parents make them go outside and play.
All right. You just said something important. You just said something important. The parents make them go outside.
Yeah, to go with sports.
But here's the problem, though. First of all, whoever those parents are, I want to shake your hand. God bless you. Here's the problem. We live in a generation where the parents don't make their kids go out. A parent now gives their kid a phone. They got a TV. They got all this, the comfort. A kid doesn't want to leave the. You can't push. Let me tell you something. Okay, I'm going to be 65 next month. Okay, if anybody's out there wants to buy me a birthday gift.
What do you want this year?
No, a piano. No. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Listen, it's important. I want to say this.
Yes, go ahead.
When I was growing up and you got punished, they sent you to your room. You know why? Because the only thing you had in your room was a bed.
That's true.
And a dresser and clothes. That's it. Now you go into a kid's room. They've got a stereo, cable, color TV, phone. They got every electronical contraption under the sun, PlayStation, and whatever the hell else the damn games are. I can't even keep up with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have all these. You can't punish a kid in their room. They want to go to their room.
Absolutely.
You want to punish a kid today? You know what you got to do?
Send them outside.
Go outside.
Right? Yeah. Well, yeah. When I got in trouble, which was rare.
You see how everything is like reversed now?
Yeah, it is very reversed.
You know, our friend Pastor Steve, he said it on the show. Good is bad, bad is good, right is wrong, wrong is right, down is up, up is down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because the whole world is upside down right now.
It is.
You punish a kid by sending them out. They don't want to go outside. They want to go in their room.
Yeah.
My shit's in my room. You want to punish a kid? Tell them that they can't use their phone for a week. That child, I will tell you, will be on suicide watch in 5 hours.
Oh, gosh, yes. Or destroy the house like I saw in this
think
video.
I'm kidding? Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Children have killed themselves over less. That's why this show, it's no accident that we put our help numbers at the beginning, the middle, and end of our show. Those numbers are there for people who need that help. Write those numbers down. Give them to people who need them.
Yes.
I don't care. From 6 to 60. From 70 to 70, from 7 to 70. It doesn't matter. Everybody needs help once in a while.
Absolutely. Or write them down and have them with you. So if you know of anybody that needs them, or you run across somebody that needs them, you have them here to hand out.
Pitbull, you're slipping, Pitbull.
I told you it was break time 10 minutes ago, but you were talking.
You said break time 10 minutes ago?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Your favorite commercial. Here you go. Do you have sweaty balls? Or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. We're back with What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast, on the record tonight with the Deepfake Dilemma. I am the Mad Dog. She's the Pitbull. And Rico is off tonight and tomorrow. He's actually making a record. Interesting stuff the last couple of times that we did Deepfakes. If you'd ever noticed, though, we never have a shortage of anything to talk about. Because as the subject of Deepfakes continues, so does the conversation. We have a conversation coming up in a couple of weeks about kind of like along the same lines here. We're going to talk about Joe Biden. Now, there are people that think that Joe Biden is a living, breathing deepfake. Because we're going to talk about these realistic masks. We're going to do a show, folks, in a couple of weeks called The Unmasking of America. And we're not talking about the COVID mask. We're talking about a much more frightening mask.
Oh, yeah. You see them all the time. You know, people put them on, and it could be just a regular white person putting on a black man's face and puts all the way down.
Hold on, back up. A regular white person? What the hell is a regular white person?
Not built or anything like that. A skinny guy, you know, just regular built.
No, hold on. You opened your mouth and shoved your foot in. Now you're going to have to talk your way out of this one.
Well, just like a regular old white guy.
This is coming from the whitest Mexican in America, okay?
I know, right? Or it could have been a Mexican guy. Who knows? But he looks
full-blooded
really
Mexican, folks.
He's just
white as a sheet. She's whiter than I am. Look.
All right.
look,
and he's the one getting the tan, right? No,
she
but
goes
it's
out
just
in the sun and can't get a tan. That's scary.
I mean, they got this white guy.
Are you sure that they didn't mix you up in the hospital?
They probably did.
But
And
so sorry for Irene and Joe. I really, God bless them.
and so
Anyway,
they got this white guy. They got this black guy's mask all the way down to here because it fit down to here, and they put him on him.
Covers your chest.
Covered, and it looked just like him. And vice versa, they did the same thing. They got a black man and did the white mask, and it looked just like a white
I
man.
think the best one that I've saw, the funniest one I saw.
Mhm.
I watched this on YouTube. They had this young buff bodybuilder, right?
Right.
About 25 years old, jacked up. They put an old man's mask on him.
Oh, yeah.
And they put old man hands on him, right? And he walked hunched over, through the gym. And guys were offering to help him, you need help, old timer, right? He sits down at the weight bench. And the guy's helping him, get down. And he picks up the bar. He's got like 400 pounds on this weight bar. And he's cranking it.
Oh,
and
my
the
God.
guys are looking at him like, what the fuck is happening here? Because they see this old, quote unquote, old man, cranking 400 pounds of weight. And then he puts it back on the bar and he slowly gets himself back up, grabs his stick and starts walking out this all hunched over.
I bet you he did.
And these guys were just looking at each other like,
oh my God,
do we dare approach him? And I think they kind of said to themselves, nah, let this one go, but that's the kind of shit we're talking about. Well, some of them are really funny, but you can actually buy them on TikTok.
Yes.
You could buy them on Instagram, Facebook. The advertisements come up all the time. You can buy them on YouTube.
We'll be talking about it, and I bet you that'll be on an advertisement on our phone.
And
today.
they're cheap. They're like $30, $40. I thought about getting the Mexican guy.
Right?
But then I thought about, I get the Mexican guys, kind of what I look like now anyways.
Right. But you see, they started it back when, like you said, the movies, from sci-fi movies, from horror movies, the guys that do all the creative.
And they've been around for years. See, the technology we're talking about is very old technology when you're talking about the mask. Because these are like back in the 1950s and 60s. In fact, Anita and I were just talking about back in the 1950s and 60s. You remember Halloween masks?
Yes.
Plastic.
Yeah, the plastic
like
ones, with the cape or the dress that goes with it. Yeah.
Yeah. A whole costume used to cost like $5.
In a little box.
And a little but a little box with a plastic window. Right?
Yeah. You decide if you wanted to be a
still
princess.
buy them. Believe it or
whatever.
not, you can still find them in different places.
Wow.
For real. I'm not even kidding. They still make them. They still make that. I can't even make this up. I swear to you. They still make them. They're probably like collector's items, but you can still buy them. But here's the thing, though, and the reason I brought this up. In the 50s and 60s, they were plastic. In the 70s and 80s, you saw a little difference now.
Oh, yeah.
Because now they were more rubbery and they were more creative, and you saw a lot more monster masks, horror masks, Frankenstein. Then in the 80s and 90s, you saw another change in them. You saw the presidential mask.
Yes.
You had the Ronald Reagan face, the George Bush face, the Bill Clinton face. All rubber, you put them over your head. Now they're so realistic, you can't even tell. This is the evolution we're talking about. They're basically, if you want to say it, they're basically Halloween masks, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah. And then now, too, it's like
it's
so realistic, too, that people have used them to. Have you seen on TV how they use them for bank robberies? They use a president's mask.
That's what I'm saying. Sure, there have been a couple of movies done like that, too. Amelia, I'm going to bring you up here. We got stuff to talk about. What do you got coming up, kid?
Oh, tomorrow we're going to be speaking about George Reeves, the original Superman, who really killed
Superman, Amelia?
Yeah,
Who killed Superman? I want an answer right now.
You said you have some more evidence to give us to support that, because I don't think he fell out that window the way
He did not. No.
Mm-mm.
Nope. How
I
do you
think
shoot yourself in the back of the head twice?
Exactly.
Wouldn't the first one kind of do it?
Probably, pretty much, especially the way it was angled or something. They said, right?
Well, the official report. We'll just get into a little bit of it now. The official report said that actor George Reeves committed suicide because he was depressed. Okay. Back in the day, if you wanted to commit suicide with a gun, this is what people did. They put it up against the side of their head.
Mm-hmm.
George Reeves got shot from the back of the head, not once, twice. Twice.
Right.
Okay. How do you how do you take a gun? You see what I'm saying? How do you take a gun and shoot yourself in the back of the head twice?
Yeah, exactly. Because like
the first time you pulled the trigger, that gun would fly. You'd be done.
Yeah, it's either here or in your mouth. How they would do it.
And back in the day, they didn't do it in your mouth because they didn't know that was the way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, folks, I hate to say it, but there's a right and wrong way to commit suicide.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that either. We don't recommend. So
no, we're going to talk about that. We're going to show that one again, so don't worry about it.
And also,
we actually have a show coming up with Dr. Michael Anestis is going to join us again on the show. I had him on the show previously. This was, I think, before you joined me.
Okay.
Dr. Anestis came on and talked about gun violence and suicide.
Good. We need to bring that out.
Yeah.
And next Monday, the 24th, we're going to be talking about unsocial media, vessels of misinformation.
Yep. Vessels of misinformation. The bullshit that people believe on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and what else? And what other? The Twitter, and believe it or not, but MySpace is still a thing.
Yeah, Pinterest, anything like that you can think.
I don't get that whole Pinterest thing.
I'm not. I don't have an account there either, so I don't.
I'm not a Pinterest person. I don't get that whole thing. What else we got coming up?
And then the next day, the 25th, Tuesday, we're going to be talking about the missing famous that are still missing that we've not been able to find.
Mm-hmm. What happened to them?
Like Jimmy Hoffa.
What happened to Amelia Earhart? What happened to
Jimmy Hoffa?
Julian Sands, Jimmy Hoffa. What happened to all those people?
Yeah,
they went missing. They disappeared. They were killed. What do we know for sure?
Yeah, we still don't know anything. And then the Wednesday on the 26th, we're gonna just have a bullshit session. We're just gonna talk about whatever we want. And
a bullshit session. Ain't had one of them in a while.
I know. We're gonna talk about whoever we want. So if you piss us off, watch out, because you'll probably be a part of the conversation.
You're on the Mad Dog and Pitbull shit list.
Yep, you'll be a part of
our conversation. Chances are we're going to take you down.
Yep.
Absolutely. So get ready for it, folks. What else? Is that it? Is that all we got?
For the month of June. Yeah, that's going to be for the month of June. That closes
us out. I think that's pretty good. I think that works.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works. Whoa, my God, there you go. That's a scary thought.
Hello.
Anyway. Listen, this is Tuesday night. It's tomorrow is our hump day, and tomorrow's our last day. Our Friday is Wednesday. Until we see you tomorrow night, folks.
Yes.
Be kind to each other. Support each other. We live in a crazy, fucked up world. It's all messed up, and people can't trust each other and don't like each other. Spread a little love. We're trying to do our part here to make things a little kinder, a little nicer. If you need help, I'm going to run them numbers by you again. Please take advantage of those numbers. They're there for your help. All right, folks?
And if you feel comfortable coming to us instead, what's the buzz podcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And we will get you in touch with the people you need to talk to, and we'll take care of it all. On behalf of Amelia, the Pitbull, Chapman, I am Angelo, the Mad Dog, DeCipio, and I'll see you tomorrow night, God willing, and the Queen don't rise. This is America's Best Popcast. What's the buzz? Good night, folks. Take care. We'll see you then.